The me no black, me Dominican phrase is such an interesting topic because there's many things happening at once. A, anti-blackness. B, them not really understanding the difference between nationality, ethnicity, and race, right? So a lot of Latinos think Latino is a race. So they won't consider themselves black, white, or anything in between. They just consider themselves Latino. Also, in America, black and African American are used interchangeably. So some Latinos feel as though when you call them black, you're calling them African American when they're really just a Latino that lives in America or a Latin American person. I wanted to say this one thing. I think it's kind of weird that in Latin countries, they call people that look European, that have white skin, but have jet black hair, negra. They'll still call them black. I don't get it. I still don't get it. It's been years. And then there's also those Latinos that don't want to negate all the things that they're mixed with, right? They don't want to be one or the other. They don't want to be African or Spaniard. They want to be all the things that they are: African, Spaniard, West Indian, Middle Eastern, mestizo, native. They want to be all that. So they'll just say, I'm Latino. So that's another one of them. So for me, if someone calls me black, it's neither here or there for me. I don't care. I am what I look like to you at this point. Don't care. But if you were to ask an Indian guy, right? An Indian man who's really, really, really dark, deep toned, and you ask them, hey, are you black? 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you, no, I'm Indian. Even though you see how dark their skin color is, they're going to tell you they're Indian, right? So it's kind of the same thing. I know it's hard at least for African Americans. They feel as though people that have been colonized, they should reject that history. But a lot of Latinos won't, because their history, you could literally see it on their face. That's like rejecting themselves, right? The best thing they can do is learn about their history and make sure that it doesn't repeat. Those are my thoughts on the phrase, me no black, me Dominican. Also, if you go to Dominican Republic and you go to the more affluent places, you're going to find a lot of Euro Dominicans and Arab Dominicans, as in blonde hair, blue eyes. You will be like, are these Dominicans? For real? Yeah. And they won't leave Dominican Republic because they're in the affluent side of Dominican Republic. If they're doing well there, they're not going to leave their country to come to America. That's why you see more of the people that aren't from the more affluent sides, who tend to be more Afro-Latino, more Afro-Dominican, come to America because there's more opportunities for them here. You guys just don't travel enough to see that. You guys don't roam Dominican Republic enough to see the differences.
I know black, I Dominican. Okay, riders, the joke is funny, but let's really get into why Dominicans are damn near terrified to identify with their blackness or their African ancestry or being indigenous, whatever you want to call it. Let's get into the history. Dominican Republic and Haiti share an island. It's called Hispaniola. Haiti was the first black free nation in the world. Okay, so Dominicans tried really hard to try to distance themselves from Haiti. The Catholic Church and the colonizer pushed whiteness is purity. Whiteness is progress. This is where the term advancing the race really stems from. Because we were taught that you had to purify yourself by whitewashing. That shit is fucking crazy, yes. And then to really stamp things, there was a dictator called Rafael Trujillo. He ruled for over 30 years. He committed one of the most craziest massacres called the Parsley Massacre, where he killed thousands of Haitians and dark-skinned Dominicans. He will go around asking them to say the word parsley in Spanish, which is perejil. And if they had a Haitian accent, he'll kill them on the spot. And he was killing dark-skinned Dominicans. He banned Afro-Dominican music. Okay, he pushed whiteness. He pushed people to marry lighter so their kids could get lighter and lighter every generation. He pushed the beauty standards of Europe, wanted women to straighten their hair. This is where the Dominican blowout comes from. This man really did a number on the Dominican people, and no other country came in and stopped him. So just think about the trauma that leaves people. I know the joke is funny, but the shit is really not funny. People are fucked up in the head and they need to heal. That's why we're talking about this. I heard the term advancing the race all my life from my parents, from people in my family, especially having curly hair. They're like, okay, you know, you can't have any kids with anybody black because your kids are going to come out ugly. Your kids are going to come out with fucked up hair. This is what I would hear from people that looked black. So imagine the mind fuck. Just imagine. I wanted to talk about the history, and I feel like it's very important to really figure out the root cause of all of these things so we can really heal together. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. BBLU.
You see, this subject of racial profiling is very, very key. And you see, nobody knows the people better than the people himself. The narrative that the Dominicans denying that they are blacks has been going wild on the internet space without us really hearing from the Dominicans what has happened. And just like the African Americans or the indigenous people, you cannot take away from them their experiences and what has happened to them, and how these negative experiences have shaped the psychology behind whiteness and anti-blackness. And this is the reason why so many of them are denying ties with blackness, because it's a mental programming that has been done from one family to the other, which was intentionally put up on these people who could be classified as Latinos, as it were. So if you're coming across my YouTube channel, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're a first-time subscriber, please hit the subscription button, hit the notification button, so that when we bring up updates, you'll be first to be notified. If you're an old subscriber, thank you very much. You are the reason why we do this. This is a sequel to the initial video we did, I am black, I'm not black, and I am American. So we'll be looking at other videos. Credits to the original content creator. At the end of the video, we'll come back to give you our general opinion and analysis. See you then.
A Dominican who grew up in Dominican Republic, hitting other people saying that we are racist, it sounds stupid. And I'm gonna let you know why. I know everyone has different opinions. If you think different than me, I don't care. I'm just gonna say what I think. And if you want to say something in the comments, that's up to you. I'm saying this in English because I know all Dominicans know what I'm talking about, but I'm saying it for the people who live here in United States, for people who doesn't understand what we say that we are Dominican but not black. As I understand, for the time that I've been living here in United States, you guys are divided in two races, African Americans and white. We don't have that in Dominican Republic. No matter what's your color, if you're white, if you're black, if you're light skinned, you're just Dominican. We just have one race, which is Dominican. We are not dividing two races. That's why we say, what, we are not black, we're not white, we're not light skinned, we're just Dominicans. That's the only race we have over there. Since when I was a kid, if somebody calls you black, if somebody calls you white and sweet, whatever thing, we're not gonna get offended for that. Nobody gets offended for that. We call each other's black. We call each other like however we want. We're not, I will say we're not sensitive in that point. Like if you call me black, I'm going to get offended. We don't. And I totally understand that here in United States is a whole different story. It's something totally different that I respect, obviously. I'm not going to go out on the street calling everyone the same way I used to call when I was back in the art, because it's a different country, it's a different culture. But my point with this is that that's the reason we don't say we are black. We just say we're Dominican. We are a mixed country from Europe, from Africa, from a lot of countries. Like, we are mixed. We don't have a specific race. So that's why all those races together becomes in a Dominican. That's why we can't be racist, because we have all the race on our bodies. So it doesn't make sense for me to be racist with somebody when I have all the races on my body. So that's why we say we just Dominican. We're not white, we're not black, we just Dominican. That's it.
And now we've all heard the Dominican "I know black" jokes, even though it's very funny. To be honest, now that I've been here in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic for a couple of weeks, I honestly get it, y'all. I know to a lot of us African Americans, it seems like rejection. And a lot of that has to do with some things that have happened historically. And sometimes we just feel a little bit insecure about how people view us in the world. But to be honest, here in the Dominican Republic, they know that they are Afro-descendant. I mean, you can't get away from it. The music is black as hell. The food has so many African influence in it. The art, the culture, from the way they dance to the way that they talk, right? But it's just a different type of black. Do y'all understand? Like, they have a completely different culture that is so rich, that is hundreds of years old. And y'all also have to understand they're mixed. They're a mix of Taino. They're a mix of African. They're a mix of European. You will see a dark-skinned person here with curly or straight hair or kinky hair. And you'll see people that look like me and everything in between. And I think that they are just proud of their culture. And when you come to the United States, if you look like African Americans, the only way to distinguish that you have a culture is to say, no, I'm actually from this place, or no, they're Dominican. And we have to respect that. And me personally, I do it too abroad. When people misidentify my race, I always remind them that I am African American. Yes, I'm biracial. My dad is also white American, but I was raised on my African American side, and I'm very proud of it. And I tell people about it every opportunity I get, especially people who have never been to the United States before. I'm always talking about my culture. So I get it. And I don't think it should cause a rift between Dominicans and black people or make us feel any sort of rejection. It's just them respecting their roots and paying homage to their culture. Because if not, we would all just kind of get thrown in one box. And though, again, I'm very proud of my culture, I understand people wanting to differentiate their cultures from other cultures. That's it, y'all. It's just pride in where you come from.